Magic, or something so advanced it seems like magic, exists in Game of Thrones' The World of Ice and Fire. It has been used to kill, protect, disguise, res, and see the future. So in the spirit of Spooktober, let's spend the month talking about magic in the world of Ice and Fire. George R. R. Martin is careful how he uses magic in his world. He believes that magic in abundance can overwhelm the story. This is why magic in his world is mysterious, limited, and dangerous. It doesn't work every time, even for experienced practitioners. George R. R. Martin has stated a few times that by the last page of his A Song of Ice and Fire series, there will be less magic than in the first page of other fantasy series. And George's difficulty with magic has been quoted as why he struggles with brand chapters and rewrites them over and over. He has also been aggressive in saying that magic should never be the solution, but it can be part of the problem. One of his quotes, "I think magic has to be handled very carefully in fantasy. You need some magic in a fantasy, but too much is like too much salt in the stew. Then all you taste is the salt. And anything can happen. You know, pigs are flying." His belief in limited use of magic in turn makes many in verse have skepticism in the existence of magic, and with good reason. It takes a special person to use it, and the results aren't always consistent. It also has a heavy price. Magic often takes death, life, or blood to manifest. Even the maesters who earned their Valyrian steel link for the study of magic claim that whatever magic existed, it has long since faded due to the doom. As well, the time that the story takes place, magic has been significantly reduced for a very long time. And this seems true until the books where magic begins to come back, whether through the birth of dragons for the first time in roughly 150 years, or because of the renewed movement of the others. So what is magic and how is it used in the world of Ice and Fire? First, there are several types of magic used: alchemy, blood magic, divination, elemental, glamoring, necromancy, raising the dead, shadowbinders, and skin changing. It should be noted that a person isn't limited to one type of magic, though some do specialize only in one area. So let's go briefly through each type of magic. First, elemental. Controlling the elements has resulted in some devastating results. Fire, air, water, and ice are the primary elemental control magics that exist. Fire magic is seen in some of the Red Priests of R'hllor and fire mages. The wizards of the Rhoynar were capable of controlling water for offense and defense. Aeromancers, who live in Asshai, are said to practice air magic, as well as warlocks. Ice magic is used by the others. Storm singers most likely can control the elements of wind and water, but much is unknown about them. Of all the elements, fire seems to be used the most. Divination. The ability to see the future is a prized ability. Dragon dreams are one source, but so is green sight and wolf dreams. Followers of R'hllor have been known to see the future in their flames. Wood witches often have the gift of prophecy. There are also substances that can grant you seeing the future, such as Shade of the Evening. The use of blood has also been known to bring about visions of the future. Shape changers and skin changers. Skin changing and shape changers may be the same thing, but it isn't exactly clear as of yet. Jojen seems to combine many of them, but he may be generalizing by what arrogant and ignorant people think. Skin changing, the ability to enter an animal and control it, is mostly seen in individuals with blood of the first men. Shape changers, on the other hand, may either physically change themselves or enter the mind of animals to control them. Masavi is said to be crawling with shape changers as well as Asshai, where lots of spooky stuff goes down. If shape changers enter the mind of beasts to control them, dragon riders may practice shape changing as well when they bond and control their dragons. Raising the dead. The Last Kiss is a ritual that followers of R'hllor can perform. It is performed by a priest of R'hllor who breathes fire and flame into the dead individual, cleansing them and bringing them back to life.
Lord, cast your light upon this man, your servant. Bring him back from death and darkness. His flame has been extinguished. Restore.
Depending on how soon the person is resurrected, their memories and personality are altered to various degrees.
It's not getting any easier, you know.
I know. Every time I come back, I'm a bit less. Pieces of you get chipped away.
Here is George's quote on Beric, one such fire wight. "And poor Beric Dondarrion, who was set up as the foreshadowing of all of this. Every time he's a little less Beric, his memories are fading. He's got all these scars. He's becoming more and more physically hideous because he's not a living human being anymore. His heart isn't beating. His blood isn't flowing in his veins. He's a wight, but a wight animated by fire instead of by ice." Which brings us to ice wights. Just as fire can reanimate, and those that reanimate are called fire wights, ice magic can be used to create ice wights, such as cold hands. This is different than the mindless wights that the others create, which is more in line with the next type of magic, necromancy. Necromancy is a terrifying ability that raises the dead as mindless machines to serve its master. This type of magic is mostly rumored to be practiced in Essos, but Westeros has its fair share. Qyburn is another example of a necromancer, and he creates Sir Robert Strong, Cersei's champion. Next, glamoring. This ability allows people to change someone, including their own appearance. Unlike shape-changing, the object of the illusion doesn't actually change. An item is typically worn, such as jewelry with a stone, to maintain the glamour. This type of magic is sometimes confused with the faceless men who can change an appearance of an object. However, in their case, they actually physically change the object, so it isn't a glamour. Blood magic. Blood magic appears to be one of the most terrifying and powerful magics practiced in the world of ice and fire. It is also created some of the most powerful weapons. It is claimed Lightbringer, wielded by Azor Ahai, was finally created by plunging the sword through his wife's heart. This seems to be a thing, as in Qohor, where the last people remain that know how to work Valyrian steel, are said to finalize the swords by sacrificing people, maybe even babies. On the horror end, not that plunging a sword through your wife's heart isn't horrific, blood magic has been used to create half-human monsters, create new breeds of creatures, infuse a building with powers, and to help retain someone's beauty. Alchemy. The creation of substances and materials with magical powers is the practice of alchemy. They can create creatures with flame and transmute metals. Wildfire is one of the most dangerous creations of theirs. Lastly, Shadowbinders. Shadowbinders bind shadows to do their will, and its users are pretty terrifying. They are the only ones that dare to go to locations that others won't, and are the only ones that will eat the mutated fish in the River Ash, a river that no one drinks from or eats from if they want to live long. So in future videos for the spooky month, I will talk about these different types of magic in depth, the users, and theories on them. Make sure you like, subscribe, and come back for more spookies.